Today, Thursday, the 19th of December 2024, we have some hand-picked match predictions to share with you, which of course will be backed up by some stats and analytics to help you make your picks in the list to boost your winning by a greater percent. And to those of you who want to have access to our weekend game match prediction picks, which we have shared to members only, as well as huge out list of top 1.5 and 2.5 goals and corner kick match prediction events, then of course you want to make sure that you join the level 2 pro plan to start to have access to all of these features to take your winning to the next height. Also, we have just recently published a new match prediction strategy which you have never seen before, and of course only members of level 2 pro plan is going to access that particular video. Of course, to watch that, you want to make sure to join the level 2 pro plan to have access to that particular video tutorial. Of course, this is the video tutorial. We just published this video 18 hours ago. Never seen soccer betting strategy. Of course, we have explained everything here on this match prediction tutorial, which you want to make sure to go ahead to watch it. And it is very relevant. Of course, for you to watch this, you have to become a member of the level 2 pro plan because this video tutorial is for members only. Of course, we have also shared other match prediction like weekend predictions, which of course we just shared it 1 hour ago. We have a long list of game prediction for this coming weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and as well as we just shared our 8 games big league match prediction event. Of course, you want to make sure to come to this home tab of our channel here on this home section. You can see we have the home tab, we have video tab. You want to make sure to come to the home and you're going to see all of these match predictions which we have shared here, as well as this betting strategy which is very relevant. For you to access this, you just only need to join the level 2 pro plan to become a member and start to have access to all these premium bet class tutorials, as well as our hand-picked events which we share to members only. So that being said, I'll move directly to the first event of our today's list. So to those of you who want to join the level 2 pro plan, the link is below this video. You want to go ahead, navigate and join to become a member and start to have access to all of these features. So let's begin with the first game prediction of today. Looking at the first event, we look at Netherlands Cup, a match between the Graafschap against Sparta Nikek. For this event, first, the recent performance of the home team based on recent games they have had in the Eredivisie have proved that they do concede and they also do score as well. Looking at that of the opponent, on the other hand, you're going to see that, of course, they do score at least 3 to 4 goals per each event. But the thing we need to note here is the fact that the away team is from the DD division, that is DED, from a very lower league, and the Graafschap is from an upper league and is performing at least scoring 4 goals in some events and even 3. Looking here at the performance of the Graafschap at home, you're going to see that the home performance of the home is very, very good. The Graafschap, you can see most events they've had at home. For 5 recent games they have had 4 wins and they've had 1 lose. But that of its opponent, on the other hand, even though they do perform well, but they are in the DD. Of course, looking here at everything in place, we want to look at 2 major picks here in full time. For this particular event, of course, the home team, the Graafschap, is from Eredivisie and from a higher league. Its opponent, on the other hand, of course, is from a lower league, even though it do perform good. But the lower league performance compared to the performance of the home team based on home event have proved that the home, out of 5 recent events they have had at home, they've had 4 lead with good offensive power. But since the opponent, that is the away team, of course, is from a lower league, the home will take advantage of that fact that they are from a higher league and with good performance of home game they have had recently to lead this match in full time as one of the major pick, as well as the possibility of at least 1.5 goal to occur in this match in full time. Therefore, look at 2 major pick. 1, the home team to lead. 2, the possibility of at least 1.5 goal to occur in this event in full time. Looking here at the next event, we look at in the Conference League of Europe, of course, we look at Betis against HJK. For this, the recent performance of the home based on recent gameplay, you're going to see that they have proved to be very offensive based on recent event they have had, scoring 2 and even 3 goals per each event. Its opponent, on the other hand, proved to be very conceding based on recent event they have had, and looking at the performance in terms of the performance of the home as compared to that of the away, of course, the home team is from the La Liga and the performance has been very great in terms of home performance. Now, looking at the stance comparison of these two in terms of recent event they have had, By comparing their form based on home and away game played, the home, of course, proved here that they are good in terms of recent performance. Comparing to that of its opponent, on the other hand, based on the way play, of course, HJK, on the other hand, you can see that they sit right here with a very weak defense. Of course, the defensive strength is not that good. And looking at everything in place, we want to look at two event major pick here in full time. For this particular conference event, of course, the performance of the away in terms of the defensive lineup proved to be very weak. Of course, the home team performance based on recent event in the La Liga proved to be good, and want to look at the fact that its good performance from the La Liga is going to be brought here, and want to look at the home Betis to either lead in full time as one of the major pick or to give it a draw, no bet for this particular event in full time. Looking at the next here, we looked in the Conference League still, but this time Chelsea against Shamrock Rovers. The performance of Chelsea based on recent events they've had, especially in the Premier League, have proved to be very offensive, scoring 3 to 4 goals per each event and even 5 goals. That of its opponent, on the other hand, have also had events, and you can see its performance, especially in the CL, which is in the Conference League, of course, have proved that they do perform averagely. And looking at the recent stands in terms of recent performance, in terms of game played, the home Chelsea have proved that based on home game, of course, the offensive power double that of Shamrock Rovers. They are very offensive and also very defensive based on recent events they have had. Its opponent, on the other hand, which is Shamrock, of course, based on the way performance have proved that the offensive strength is not as good as that of Chelsea. And looking at everything in place, we want to look at two major picks in full time. For this particular performance, of course, Chelsea offensive have proved to be double that of its opponent, with an average goal score rate of at least 3, 4, and even 5 goals per each event. They have proved to be very offensive. And looking at its great performance in the Premier League, they have proved that they are a very offensive team. And the fact that its opponent, on the other hand, cannot be compared to that of teams of the Premier League with good offense, we are looking at Chelsea to take advantage of that to lead this game in full time as one of the major picks. And we also want to look at the possibility of at least 1.5 or 2 goals over to occur in this event in full time. Looking at the next, we'll look still in the Conference League, but this time Lani against Genk. Of course, the recent performance of Lani based on recent event have proved that they do score even though they do concede as well. Genk, on the other hand, is from the Jupiter Pro League and they prove to be very offensive based on recent event they have had. The recent performance of Lani based on home event have proved not to be very good in strength comparing to Gent, on the other hand, that do concede, but of course the offensive power is also good. Comparing the stance of this in terms of recent performance based on the game played by home and away, of course, you're going to see that for the home team, Gent is very good at home. But looking at Lani at home, you're going to see that its performance here proves that the defensive line is weak. Conceding 6 goals for just 2 events proves that the strength of defense in at home is not good. But that of Gent, on the other hand, based on the way game played, proved that, of course, the defensive and offensive power for Gent, even though they do concede as much based on the way, but of course, comparing to that of Lani in terms of present play, Gent proved to be on a better stand. And looking at everything in place, we want to look at 2 major events in full time. For this particular event, every comparison have proved that Gent stand a better chance to either lead in full time or to give it a double chance. We are looking here at the favorite for Gent, giving it either a straight win or double chance for Gent in this event in full time. Looking at the next, we look in the Conference League, but this time Panathinaikos against Dynamo Minsk. For this event, the home team is from the Greece Super League. The performance have been very amazing, and they have had games, especially in the CL, against CNS, which is a strong team where they had a lead. Dynamo Minsk, on the other hand, have proved not to be a good team, and of course, the performance recently in the VL have proved not to be very good. And looking at the game comparison in terms of stand, per recent placement in terms of home and away, the Panathinaikos, which is the home team, sits here. And looking at the fact that they've had 2 events, scoring 2 and conceding 4, its opponent, on the other hand, Dynamo Minsk, based on the way performance, proved that they sit right here almost with a very weak defensive line. And looking at everything in place, we want to look at 2 major picks in full time. For this particular event, of course, Panathinaikos have proved to be more offensive in terms of recent event they have had for their particular tournament. Looking at its opponent, on the other hand, the offensive power is not as great in terms of strength. And looking at this stance, of course, Dynamo Minsk, even though they proved that they are weak in defense, want to look at Panathinaikos to take advantage of that weak defense to either lead in full time as one of the major pick And we also want to look at least the possibility of 1.5 goal in this event in full time. Looking at the next, we look in the Italy Cup, a match between Inter against Udinese. Inter, based on recent event they've had, have proved to be very offensive in terms of recent event, scoring 5 and 3 goals and even 6 goals per each event against teams like Lazio. Udinese, of course, is also from the Serie A. The performance is not as great as that of Inter. And looking at the recent head-to-head they have actually met twice this same year, scoring 3 and 5 goals in each event. That is a total combination of goals. And looking at the recent stands in terms of the performance for this particular event, of course, Inter, the home, have proved to be very offensive, especially when they play at home. Udinese, away is not very good in terms of away performance. And looking at everything in place, we want to look at two major picks in full time. For this particular event, of course, we want to look at Inter to take advantage of this. The fact that they are offensive team, especially in the Serie A, where they had a very great offense based on recent game played. Its opponent, Udinese, on the other hand, do not have that great offense as that of the home team. We therefore want to look at the home to lead in full time or to give it a double chance for this event in full time. Looking at the next year, we'll look at Netherlands Cup, Ajax against Thurssday. In this event, Ajax have proved to be based on good striking, especially recent games they have had in the Eredivisie against Ames City and also Utrecht and Nijmegen. In this event, of course, the performance of Tesla based on away have proved that based on recent event they had games in the EERO, which is that is Estate Divisie, but of course the home team is from the Eredivisie. It is from a higher league as compared to that of the away. And this is a cup, of course, looking at the performance of Ajax based on home game played, the proof that they are good, having 4 good play events out of 5 and having just 1 lose against Lazio in the year. That of Tesla, on the other hand, of course, proved that based on the way game played, they are very conceding and the defensive power is not good. They concede up to 3 goals per each event. Looking at the performance of these, of course, we want to look at 2 major picks in full time. For this event, of course, Ajax has proved to be a more offensive team in terms of recent event they have had at home, comparing to that of Tesla from the lower league. Of course, Ajax is from Eredivisie, so want to look at Ajax to take that great offense based on the games they have had in its league itself to try to lead this match in full time as one of the major pick and taking advantage of the weak lower team of the away to lead in full time, as well as the possibility of at least 1.5 or 2 goals over to occur in this match in full time. And these are the games we have to share with you. To those of you who want to have access to our upcoming game prediction for the weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, which we have just shared with you. And you can see this is it here, the weekend prediction. This is the first episode of this series, upcoming weekend soccer match prediction event. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, of course, you want to make sure to join the Level 2 Pro plan to have early access of this, and as well as another tutorial which will enable you or to make you to have some access on some streak which you can use for your match prediction pick. Of course, only members of Level 2 can able to access this. You want to make sure to use the link below this video to join the Level 2 Pro plan to start to have access to all of these, with which ought to take your winning to the next level. Good luck and see you again in the next upload, and bye bye for now.